Hello, everybody. Thank you. So today I will talk about nanoparticles to control internal hemorrhage. So in our group, in the Grup de Recerca en Enginyeria de Sistemes Col·loidals, we use colloidal systems with surfactants like micelles or liquid crystals or emulsions to form nanomaterials, which have, like, in one dimension, dimensions from 2 to 100 nanometers, like these mesoporous materials, mesomacroporous materials, or even nanoparticles and mesoporous nanoparticles. So nanoparticles have a wide applications, as we have seen in previous presentations. And why do we want them to treat internal hemorrhage? Well, they can be formed of a versatility of materials. We focus basically on silica nanoparticles, but also they can be magnetic nanoparticles if you want to monitor. They can be biodegradable polymers, carbon nanotubes, gold, silver. They have a high surface area because the smaller they are, the higher surface area they have. They can be injected easily in the body, only by injection in the blood vessels. They have a high carrier capacity, more if they are like capsules, silica shells. You can put the protein coagulation factors inside. They have a flexible surface functionalization. So that means that you can attach like organic molecules on the surface to change the properties of the nanoparticles. And of course, we have to take into account the cytotoxicity and biocompatibility of these nanoparticles. In fact, a lot of us are working with nanotechnology, nanoparticles, and we don't know yet the consequences of our acts. So here is a quick overview of the coagulation pathway, only to show you that when we have a wound, an injury, the coagulation mechanism starts in two different ways. One is in contact with tissue factor, that is encountered outside the blood vessels, and the other one is when the blood is in contact with a negatively charged surface. In fact, this is what interests us, because silica in the pH of the blood is negative, so it accelerates clotting with this pathway here. We also see here this P70, this is polyphosphate of 70 monomers length, and it's interesting because, in fact, it's produced in our platelets when we have a wound. But we thought about synthesizing this polyphosphate and attach it to the silica nanoparticles so we can increase the coagulation. And that's what we did. So we synthesized some polyphosphate, we attach it to the silica. This enhances the activation of the procoagulant surface. But hey, what happens if we inject silica in the body? It will start clotting and thrombosis will happen. So what we have to do is protect these nanoparticles. We protect them with polyethylene glycol here, which increases the circulation time and avoids clotting easily. But what we have to do now is to target the nanoparticles, because they have to go to the wound site and produce clotting where the injury is. So what we do is with a peptide, we put a peptide in between the silica nanoparticle and the polymer with a specific sequence of amino acids. And this sequence will be recognized by an enzyme that will be only present in the wound site. That will be a factor. We use the factor 10 activated. So the enzyme will cleave the peptide here, release the PEG, and unmask the procoagulant surface. So it will be active again. How do we measure this? We don't inject it in humans or animals, not yet. What we use is the changes in viscoelasticity of the blood or plasma when the coagulation happens. So we put our sample here, plasma, we put the nanoparticles, and there is a pin here that rotates, and with the changes in viscoelasticity, we know when the clot is formed. So here is time, and here the clot is formed. We also use fluorescence with a thrombin-specific dye. So this is the dye. It's cleaved by thrombin when the coagulation happens, and then this part here is a coumarin dye and it's fluorescence, so we can detect by absorbance when the clot is formed. We also want to mimic what happens in the blood vessels using microfluidics, but well, we haven't started yet. We are only in the modeling part, not experimental. Here only some quick results. We see here the clotting time as a function of concentration for different particles. When there is no clotting agent, the clotting time is about 12 minutes. When we put the silica particles, these orange ones, we see that the clotting time decreases. Functionalized with polyphosphate, the blue ones, it's even better. So finally, only acknowledge all the universities in Santa Barbara, Chicago, and Barcelona, and thank you the organizers for letting me the opportunity to come here. Thank you.